Hello and welcome to the Greenway Outdoors podcast. My name is Kyle.
I'm AJ.
You go now, Andy.
I'm Andy.
I'm Ryan.
So we fired Jeff and we've upgraded. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gone.
Jeff is in Florida right now, and we've been wanting to work Andy into more podcasts anyway, so it just worked out that Andy got to join us today. All right, so go ahead. No, I'm just kidding.
It's all on me.
just put it right on him. No, I'm feeling fun. I'm feeling like hanging out with the guys because I just got back from deer camp.
Nice.
So.
Like when your parents are out of town.
Yeah. Although it was
risky business.
Kind of sad my dad wasn't there, but yeah. Kind of out of town.
Overall, it was pretty good, though?
Yeah, so it was cool. The deer camp, for those of you who don't know, is like what got me into hunting in the first place. So my dad took me when I was a kid, and we went up to Wexford County, Michigan, home of the Dog Man. For those of you who haven't
say it.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen our Wilderness Chronicles series yet, there'll be a link down below. The Wilderness Chronicles talks about all the cryptid legends that happen, and of course we kicked it off with a real one. And that was the Michigan Dog Man, which has been cited so many times you can't call it a lie. But if you want an eerie, storytelling, fun, documentary, news/Twilight Zone experience, go to the Greenway Outdoors YouTube channel and click on Wilderness Chronicles. And Andy's currently editing the Loch Ness one that we talked about last
Yes,
week.
absolutely. And we actually have some sweet footage from Scotland at Loch Ness that I'm excited to show off.
Yeah, it's the monster swimming around. No, I'm just kidding. But we did get plenty of Loch Ness, the actual loch itself. But anyhow, talking about deer camp, talking about the Michigan Dog Man, I grew up hunting in Wexford County, home of the Dog Man, and the Wilderness Chronicles can be found on our YouTube channel. But growing there, just circling back real quick.
I'm surprised the school didn't make that their mascot.
Yeah, they're the Bulldogs. How stupid is that?
Right.
In Mesick there.
Missed
Although
opportunity.
maybe in Wexford County, one of the schools did it. But the Bulldogs and Mesick did not. But yeah, it was fun. We had the guys from Network Outdoors over
Nice.
for dinner. And then we were able to it's just fun hanging out with all the guys, right? But going up there, that's where I learned to deer hunt. My very first experience hunting in general. I passed my hunter safety on the November 14th and then went out with my dad on November 15th. And I had the most incredible morning harvesting my first deer. The guys that were up there just made it so special for a young kid.
Yeah.
And getting the experience of having all those guys so excited for me, and when I shot the deer, they all came out and everyone's hugging and showing me how to gut the deer, and then we had the heart for dinner that night, and those experiences are like so spiritually connecting for me and my dad to have that experience together. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but they might be the most formative, important moments of my entire life.
Yeah, there's a lot that comes with going to like those sort of camps. Like you did deer camp. I grew up doing upland grouse camp, and it's like as a young man, there's not a lot of places you go at that age where it's just purely guys. Like it in like what, for the lack of a better term, a safe place where they're just being guys. They're just having fun. And along with that, you're learning a lot of life lessons about life and death. You're hunting.
Yeah.
Like there's some big consequences to what you're doing in your activities. And they're perfect. Like you said, it's pivotal.
The generational value, too, of having older people shepherding the younger people into this traditional, proper way of doing things. Like that connective tissue is like... That's humanity type connective issue that's been going on forever.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, and you have to imagine, too, like you go back to ancient days and you go back to our ancestors and stuff where they lived that way, where there was like communities and the men stuck together. You go to Africa, actually. I was watching an episode of The Outdoor Boys, which is a YouTube channel, and they were in Africa, and they were like hunting with these tribesmen who basically lived like it's 600 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was hunting with them and along with them and stuff. And it was funny at their camp where they would come back and cook and stuff. The women were kind of getting all the food together and things like that, and making jewelry and clothing and washing clothes and doing those sorts of things. And the men were out working very hard hunting all day. And they would come back, and it was like the men kind of sat in their group and the women kind of sat in their group. And now I'm not talking about that's how necessarily things should be. But in a micro level, that was like they were all sharing hunting stories. And one of the notes that the host made was he was like, it's the same everywhere you go. And it's like the guy sitting around the fire talking about the hunting stories from the day, what this group saw, what that group saw, and just the happiness that those people had. And it's like we don't get that in day-to-day life in the United States of America. You know, you're going to work every day. the traditional gender roles are thrown out the window. Things are just very different. But when you go up there, it's just the men, and as I truly think it should be, because you add one female to the mix, and everybody kind of treats everybody differently then.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, not that we should be speaking in a very vile manner, but as soon as a woman's around, you kind of watch your language a little more, and you're more
you're not gonna fart.
You're not, yeah, you're not as loosey goosey as you would be around just your guy friends. And I think to add to it, it's not like we're saying like we need segregation of male and female.
No.
It's just like
there's times and places for things. It's the same reason why I had a problem with the Boy Scouts allowing women in. The reason I had a problem with it is because little boys being together and exploring as little boys together is different than little boys and little girls doing it together. 100%. It's a different experience, and I think there's a time and a place. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying things should always be segregated or different or anything like that, but there's a time and place where little boys should be little boys, and part of it is a boy going up to deer camp, and that's where I learned to hunt and fish, and that's where I learned a lot about life and politics and God and how the world works and the life lessons and how to cook and everybody pitching in and learning those traditions and watching what's the name of that movie? Escanaba Into Moonlight. And like just those rich traditions and just being there with your dad and and one of the most beautiful things too is talking about my mom and dad's relationship is every night my dad talks to my mom before he goes to bed no matter what, and up at deer camp he'd be out on the back porch after dinner.
Nice.
And he'd be talking to her and stuff. So it's not that I'm like, get away girls, but this is the He-Man No Woman Haters Club. Yeah. But it's awesome, and part of this too is I think the reason I'm harping on this is is because I heard about a story that I really didn't like, and this is someone really close to me, so I'm not going to share names because that would be a wild choice. And I was back and forth on whether I wanted to talk about this or not. And Ryan, before this podcast, was kind of the last push to push me over to talk about it. But there's a little boy, he's like 12 years old, great kid, and he was really excited about going hunting. And unfortunately, like I said, I don't even have to say names because I hear stories like this all the time now. And oftentimes we get asked to step in and help. And I have 365 days in the year, and I do everything I can for as many people as I can. I truly do.
That is true.
Thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely
for
true.
sure.
It's hard to do for everybody all the time, but
you drag my ass out there to hunt.
Yeah, that's right. And hearing this story broke my heart. But it was a 12-year-old boy. Parents are separated, which is all too common nowadays as well, which I hate to see. And I just hate to see that. I think marriage is so important, and I think it's the structure of humanity, and I think gender roles are important. I think a lot of things. But anyhow, this little boy, parents are separated, so the dad is going to come pick up the boy at 4:30 in the morning on opening day, which is so special. And it was funny because I got to talk to this kid, and he was in the full camouflage the night before. Like, we're talking about more than Christmas morning excited for opening day of rifle season.
All about it.
And in Michigan, November 15th is historically opening day of rifle season. A lot of schools have it off. A lot of workplaces know nobody's going to show up. It's a special day to go out and harvest meat. That's the day I harvested my first deer. There's so much love and spirituality and excitement around that day. More deer are harvested that day than all year long. It's just so great. And so this little boy's playing into that big time, and he's got a 410 slug gun, and he's cleaning it the night before, and he's looking at it. He slept in his camouflage that night, just so excited about opening day.
So sweet.
And this is where the story kind of makes a turn, is he was out on the front porch waiting for his dad at 4:30 in the morning, and his dad didn't show. He no-called and no-showed his own son on opening day. And
That's brutal.
That's rough.
Well, I tried to even perceive how much that would hurt, and I didn't even want to tell the people involved in it how important it really was. I wouldn't mind telling the dad,
right?
But I didn't want to tell the people involved. But like for a little boy, once I knew about opening day and once I knew about deer hunting and I was going to be able to go with my dad, I can't comprehend a world where that gets taken away from me because my dad didn't care enough or didn't prioritize me enough to show. Like, my dad was at every baseball game growing up. He was at every football game. He was at every football practice. Right. He was at every baseball practice. He was at every swim meet. He was at every band concert. He was at every... I was in band, let it go. He was at everything.
Every recital.
Yeah, easy. One recital.
One time.
Yeah, tap dancing show.
But I have the best parents in the world, and I know that I'm blessed in that, but I can't. It's like, even if you had shit parents, you got to be there for opening day. Like, that happens. Like, I saw crappy parents up at deer camp have their kids on opening day at least.
Right.
I mean, that's like not celebrating Christmas.
Saying opening day is too, like, I think it's bigger than this, where it's like sort of a metaphor in another sense, where it's like, be there for your kid on opening day. Yeah, in our situation, it's opening day deer hunting. Your kid has other opening days. Your kid has baseball games and football games and plays or whatever it might be. Be there for your kid on opening day.
I'd love to hear the argument of what was more important.
Well, when I'm
pull tabs.
Besides, pull tabs. Exactly, man.
What I was told was that he ended up working later than he thought. So
poor thing.
He slept in because of it, but he'll pick him up in the afternoon. But so he picked him up and took him out in the afternoon, and I guess nothing happened. But the following,
Unbelievable.
then it gets actually worse. Then the following day, the kid goes out again, but this time he goes with his uncle. So this is November 16th, so it's a Sunday. He goes out with his uncle, who's a good guy, took him out, and he shoots a deer. And they think he made a pretty good shot. It was a super controlled setting, a 50-yard shot in a blind with a tripod, like set him up good. So hits the deer, and then the dad shows up then with the two younger siblings and is in a hurry because tomorrow's school, so it's getting dark. So it gets dark, and he tells the kid, he goes, yeah, you got 10 minutes to find the deer or we're leaving.
Nice.
Which, by the way, is that's illegal.
Tasteful.
That's called want and waste. That's illegal.
Right.
You don't get to shoot something and say, I don't have the time to go retrieve it. That's illegal. So the kid's like, well, he's like, you got to go to school tomorrow, and your siblings are cold, so you got to hurry up. You got 10 minutes. The uncle's like, well, I'll just drive him home. Like, I was going to drive him home anyways. I didn't even know you were coming, and now you're coming here and rushing everything. So they look for the deer. The kid's crying, the 12-year-old. He's got snot running down his face and stuff looking for this deer, and he jumps up the deer, and it's bleeding, but he jumps it up. The one he had shot, because they rushed in. See, typically, if you're not 100% sure you're shot, you're going to let that deer sit for hours before you head in. And if he shot it at 4:30 or 5 before it was getting dark, I wouldn't go out till probably 7:30 to go look for it. And that's okay. Like, I'm sorry, but there are things that are more important than being to school the next day. This is one of them.
Yeah.
And truthfully, the kid probably should have had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off for deer camp. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it should be. And when you're going to die and you're on your deathbed, you're not thinking, man, I wish I had 2 more days of school. You're wishing you had 2 more days of deer hunting. It's like those things have to, at some point, there has to be that priority, set. That's why I think homeschooling's great if you have the right parents to do it. But
strong emphasis on that.
Yes,
the right parents
the
to do
second part of that is crucial.
Yeah.
So anyhow, they ended up after jumping it. His dad's like, get in the car. You didn't hit it well enough, and like that's not true. So I guess the uncle was gonna continue to pursue it from there, and I don't know how all that turned out. And hopefully the uncle kept it from being a crime, because want and waste is wrong. But the other thing is it like teaches the kid that like you shot an animal and it doesn't even matter because you got to hurry up and go to school tomorrow. So yeah, you shot it, but we're not going to find it right now. So let's go. It's like, that's a really bad lesson to teach.
That's a bad one.
On top of that, you taught the kid the lesson that, you don't matter if I worked late.
Right.
You
can't trust me.
You can't trust me. I think you can't trust me is the scariest one. I can't even fathom a world where that would be the case for me with my dad.
Right.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
So, I think the overarching message of this entire story, it's heartbreaking. And for all of you who are probably commenting and stuff, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to probably be able to take that kid up hunting this year and protect him, teach him the right lessons. I don't want to dog on the dad to the kid, although one day the kid's probably going to see this. But I don't want to dog on the dad. I just want to guide him in the right direction. But I can't guide every kid in America. So I'm asking all of you dads out there to step up. Even if you think you're stepping up, add 10%. Because it is so important to kids. And I got that text and I almost started to cry. I'm like, because I just can't imagine how damaging that would have been to me.
And it's bigger than dads too. It's just men in general. Like, even when you're in the grocery store, there's an example you can be setting. There, like, kids are always watching. Kids are always watching.
Yes.
So, like, as men, we need to handle ourselves accordingly.
Yep. Nothing stops Ram. Never has, never will. Nothing stops great deals on the Ram 1500. Welcoming back the legendary Hemi V8. I just put in an order for a new truck myself. I was so excited to see that cool new Hemi badging that's going to be on the side of the Ram. The customer spoke up and the Hemi is returning, and I'm so pumped about it. The Ram is the most luxurious, technologically advanced, and strongest version ever. 2026 with the available Ram Cargo Box system to keep your gear locked, lit, and ready. An off-road capability that never quits. Nothing stops the most advanced Ram heavy-duty pickup ever with the available Cummins turbo diesel delivering 1,075 pound-feet of torque, built to tow, haul, and dominate any challenge. And with the Ram 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, nothing stops you. Hurry into your local Ram dealer today for a great deal. Nothing stops Ram. Bass Pro Shops is the last brick and mortar stronghold for the outdoor industry. In the last 5 years, the Outdoor Fund has raised more than $100 million for conservation. Johnny Morris and the Bass Pro team work so hard to raise money for conservation, raise awareness about the outdoor industry. They're wonderful people, and I'm so glad to be working with them. I've been shopping there my whole life. I walk in the store, I get excited. And one of the best times of year to go is right around Christmas, because from now until December 24th, you can get a free picture with Santa Claus, and you'll get a free 4x6 photo just for stopping in and seeing us. They've got the largest selection of brands and gear for all your outdoor activities. If you can't visit the store, then visit BassProShops.com. Boss shot shells are premium grade and American made, with a direct-to-consumer model that keeps prices fair and down. Bismuth is gone. Tungsten, it's on the way out the door, so Boss went to work developing their new 100% copper loads. They're 50% harder, but they're still old gun safe. You won't have fracturing like we saw with bismuth. There's deeper penetration and tighter patterns than bismuth. They're made in America with raw materials, all sourced in America. Boss Shot Shells is the only shotgun shell we use. I'm super excited about these new copper loads. We were around and in the shop when they were developing those loads and seeing how good and how solid they are from an amazing American company. Highly recommend them. And you can buy them online. They'll be on your front step in just a couple days. Visit BossShotShells.com. Again, it's BossShotShells.com today. Yeah, and for me, if I'm going to talk about hunting and I'm going to talk about fishing, it's such an opportunity for parents to connect with their kids, too. It's like while you're out there, I talked about how influential it was to me as a kid. Like, it taught me a lot of things. But we're born from God, I believe, with knowing, like, what right and wrong is, for the most part. But there's, like, right and wrong is, like, I know I shouldn't steal or I shouldn't lie. But there's, like, more complex things of, like, navigating the world and determining how you'll perceive information in the future as far as right and wrong. Politics, religion, complex, like the stories you hear about business and all the things I heard up north. It like helps you kind of piece things together that in such an open conversation, because 12 guys up there having an open conversation is like a scenario that most people never really get the rest of the year. We happen to live in that. So we have like a very weird life, here at the office, because it's a bunch of best friends together that have these discussions all the time, and we'll push back on each other, and it helps us kind of determine what we think is right and wrong. And for some people that that happens in the workplace, but a lot of people it's deer camp, and to create that environment for a young boy is great, but also men and women. I think it's great that women hunt. I think getting little girls involved in hunting is awesome too, because that's a great way for them to connect with their parents too. But I just wish people use I get scared that we're getting away from people involved in the outdoors. We just had the Michigan licenses read off to us where we're losing tons of hunters, and on top of that, that 60% of hunting and fishing licenses are sold to white males over the age of 55. It's like this way of life is going away, and it's more than about the kill shot. It's more than about even the harvesting of the food. Like there is something that's happening when you're connected to nature and you understand where your food comes from, but also the connection of the people involved with you.
Well, I think there's also something existential. I brought it up before, but like about like killing something is like I saw this TikTok that was like this guy was like laying in a hammock, and he was a more feminine male, and he was laying in a hammock in the woods, and he's like, I was just laying here in my hammock, and I was just thinking, can you imagine being a person that thinks I'm gonna go out in the woods and I'm gonna see a deer and I'm just gonna blow its head off because I want to see its guts and its brains all over the place, and like made it like this gory like, and
ignorant.
That's what I said. I was like, and I say this with with the from the kindest part of my heart. Like, this is very ignorant. Like that. This is not what it's about. It's people feeding their family, and like no one is walking up to their deer being like, "Yeah, I just killed it."
Right.
Like especially when you kill something as a kid. As a dad, like my dad was like, okay, this is serious. Like you did just kill something. You need to be appreciative of it. It died, and now you're going to utilize it. And like that sits in your head. And for me, it was like you'd be like sitting in class, like thinking about it, like I did kill something. Like that is
right.
like you think about it, and like it puts serious value on overall life.
Which is interesting because a lot of people with the outside perspective that don't know about what we're talking about, who are typically very unhappy people, by the way, they would guess the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it also makes you a little bit weirder about even if you get chicken at a restaurant, just, no, I don't want the rest of it, and throwing it in the garbage. It's like that chicken breast was a live chicken at one point that maybe had a name. You know, it's like, These are real creatures, real animals, and we should have reverence for them. But then that could also push people to become like the vegan talk that we've talked about before. We had a debate. We'll put the podcast link below to when I debated a vegan guy who brought all kinds of arguments to me about how that should make you not want to kill because of it. But anybody that knows, and the line has been used so many times, so I hate to even say it because Ted Nugent said it first, then Yellowstone stole it. But like the combines go through the fields to harvest all your, lettuce ingredients, all your salad ingredients, we'll say, and then the combine kills all the creatures that are in the field. The pesticides kill every creature in the field. There's so much death in a salad, it's unbelievable. So it's like death is all around us, and it's a part of how we live. All the time. And if you are a vegan, you are killing as many or more animals.
Right. If you're going to be truly honest, it's like if you're going to be honest with yourself when you're a vegan, you're really what you're saying to yourself is like, what type of death am I going to just ignore?
Sure.
Like, where am I going to ignore death?
Right.
Is it from the farms that with meat? Is it going to be hunting, or is it going to be like farming plants?
Right.
It's death.
My whole thing too is like, man, my frame of mind was like, if I can get 3 deer this year between everybody I take hunting, then I should be good on hamburger and steaks for the entire year, and I don't even got to think about going to the grocery store and buying any other animals that have been killed. So that's 3 that's going to feed my family. So it's like, okay, well, I'm good then. 3 is certainly a lot less than whatever creates every salad ever. So
yeah,
It comes to the point where it's like death is all around us, so it almost creates, I think to your point, and you begin to understand it more and understand that death is unavoidable. We're all going to die, and every animal is going to die. Every plant is going to die. Everything is going to die, and eventually God's going to do away with this earth anyways. So everything is going to die.
Right.
And you like gain a respect for it, but if you're going to shorten anything's life by killing it, you have to honor every piece of it. And these are lessons that are learned in the field that eventually, somehow, there's people that are considered adults that don't know it yet.
Right. And it's just occurring to me now, like, you asked me if I was going to go hunting, like down in Jackson at the farm, and a few other people. It's just, like, I'm putting it together right now. This speaks to how we're not, like, just kill hungry.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, I was like, I'm probably not going to, I said I'm not going to go deer hunt this year probably because I have deer at home that I still need to eat, and I should eat that first before I shoot another deer.
100%. You wouldn't go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of hamburger if you had it in the freezer.
Right.
So you would. It's the same thing with deer.
Right.
Now we can talk about why you haven't eaten all that yet, but I just love it, man. It's so funny too. Like when you walk up to a deer, I was thinking about this too. It's like I'm looking at its fur and I'm looking at its eye or hair. I'm looking at its eyes. I'm looking at its feet, and I'm looking at how clean it is. I mean, like looks like it was well manicured and took a shower that day. I mean, they're just pristine, beautiful, clean animals. And I'm like, you go to a farm and see a pig that you're going to eat bacon out of. It's like,
gnarly.
Yeah, I'm telling you, for the people that are like, oh, I can't eat venison, it's like, if you experienced what I experienced, you'd be like, that's the cleaner choice. If you're an alien that came down and had no clue what's going on, you'd definitely feel good about eating the deer by comparison to almost anything else.
Hell
Yeah.
There's a massive group of people, including myself, that went through life thinking that venison is awful.
Yeah.
And
What gave you that, like why? How did you get there to think it was awful?
because I would get friends, dads, or that would get a deer and they make it into jerky, or you're at a friend's house and they're making venison and it's just they don't know what they're doing, so you assume that is like, why would they like this meat? It's awful.
Right.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
here.
that's a whole nother problem, is putting full respect on the meat.
But last year you made that venison steak that was just unbelievable.
I was able to, yeah, it was better than filet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if people could experience, or at least have the education to properly process it themselves and experiment on how to cook it, the argument goes out the window. But you're still going to have those people that will rant and rave how good venison is, and they're going to be like, no, I've had it once and I hate it.
Yeah, no, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, my mom was kind of that way too, because the way my dad cooked it, the way his dad cooked it. So breaded and fried in Crisco.
Right.
You know, yeah.
That's probably how I had it
Yeah,
as a kid as well.
With more pepper than you've ever seen. It looked like Jeff peppered it.
Right.
Yeah, forget Jeff. He's just not here. So that is like how we ate it growing up. And I was like, it's okay, but I don't really love this. I actually now would probably dig that. But, it's not the healthiest way to cook it. But my mom didn't really love that. And my dad possibly didn't trim it up as much as he maybe could have. Or, I do a lot of like pre-marinating the steaks and stuff. But my dad just did it the way his dad did it. And I think that was also like that. My dad's dad died when he was really young. I think my dad was he was like 19 or something in that range.
Yeah, so he probably held on to those things tight.
Yeah, I'm sure tastes and smells remind us of people and things and experiences. And I can bet that the taste of that steak brought him back to his dad. So I can respect that. Like I said, I don't mind that way. But I got some venison recipes that knock your socks off. Well, my mom didn't like it cooked that way. Some people don't like fried chicken. I don't know who that is, but some people don't.
Psychos.
Yeah, psychos, that's who. But at the same time, my mom didn't like it cooked that way, so she thought she didn't like venison, and now I've made venison my way, and she's like, well, this is pretty great.
That's part of my problem, too, is like Jenna grew up in a house, my wife, this is why we still have some deer meat. She grew up in a house where any red meat in general, actually, was not that great. Like, when we were dating, I'd go over there, and I'd be, like, eating a steak, and it's, like, kind of chewing on a hockey puck, and I'm just sitting there like, this sucks. This sucks. And she always said, like, oh, I don't like red meat. I don't like red meat. I'm like, and I never put two and two together, that it's not that she doesn't like red meat.
She don't like her experiences with red meat.
Her experiences with red meat have always been terrible. So once we got married, I was able to start introducing, like, it was always like a little bit of a battle of like, no, I don't want steak for dinner. And then I'd like bring it in. It's a little more on the rare side, easier to cut and chew, and
some redness there.
Yeah, a little more tender. And then, so we're getting there. And so
I want a ribeye so bad now.
I have to like slowly throw the red meat in back and forth. If it were up to me, we'd be eating it every day. Mm-hmm. And for a while there, I think we went almost like 2 weeks of eating red meat, and she's like, no more. I'm done.
Yeah, you pushed your limit.
Yeah,
there.
I did.
Yeah, you took it too far. But
yeah,
I think the big thing for me with venison for people is they have to understand you have to cut away all the silver skin and tissue. And most deer, the fat is not something that people are going to enjoy. I'm wording it very carefully because there are people that have like figured out how to cook with deer fat who can't wait to crucify me. So I'm like teetering on the truth. But if you don't really know what you're doing, your best thing to do is cut away every single thing that isn't just meat, and to cut cross grain, so you're breaking up the fibers as much as possible, and don't overcook it. And if you start with those basic rules, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Meat. Well, it's like another piece of that too, with people saying wild game isn't good, is like how they say pronghorn's not good. People say pronghorn's not good. Well, our pronghorn was phenomenal. It was great.
Yeah, it was
gone
good.
pretty quick.
And then it became very clear what the problem is on why people don't like pronghorn. You're out in hot temperatures, way back in the backcountry. Mm-hmm. You shoot your pronghorn, and people lollygag around while this pronghorn's sitting in the back of their bed-lined black truck bed, just cooking.
Yep.
And it hasn't been gutted or anything. Like it was so like clear why it's bad. Because for us, we brought it straight to a cooler, and it was awesome.
It was like candy. I mean,
so good.
I remember having it.
Yeah, I cooked it on the grill.
Mind.
And what did I do, though? I trimmed up the backstrap perfectly. AJ and I worked hard on it. And then I soaked it in Italian dressing for 3 hours to help with keeping it moist and breaking up the meat a little bit. And then I put a little Dale's.
Yeah, that stuff's good.
Yeah, it's like a liquid seasoning. It's for steaks. It's very zip saucy. But you put a little bit of that on it, and then Rufus Teague meat rub, and then I cooked it on the grill. A nice hot grill, 425 degrees. It was about 8 minutes on each side, so it was more medium than medium rare. That's how I like it. And I cut it with a fork, and you guys all went nuts.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Field care is very important. Another thing, too, is like gutting your deer quick is very important, especially if it's gut shot. Getting everything away from the meat is good. Trying to not break up the membranes that protect the meat in the field is important, like the silver skin that goes over the meat and stuff. Try to leave that intact because it'll help shield it from any grossness that might be on there. The other thing that I would recommend is just remember, think of it like lemon juice. So stomach acid is stronger than lemon juice. And if you soak something in lemon juice, you know it tenderizes it, and it's so acidic it gets into the meat so quick and impacts the flavor. That's why we like to put it on fish, and within seconds it changes the whole flavor profile of fish. Yeah. Imagine stomach acid mixed with crap doing that. And that's what a bad gut job can do to meat, because it's that potent. And people play around with gutting stuff, or they take too long. Get the guts out of the animal fast, and get it cleaned out fast, and get it cooled fast. And that makes a huge difference, because otherwise you are marinating it in poop-flavored lemon juice. When I was young and getting ready for my first duck hunt, I did a lot of research, but quickly realized how important choke tubes were to consistent patterns out of a shotgun. I didn't have a ton of money, so I wanted to find a cost-effective option, but would still perform at the highest level. A few old-timers told me to go with Carlson's choke tubes, and that's what I did. I shot the paper the next day, and I was relieved to see how great the pattern was. Time and time again, I saw that consistency in the field. Now, I have upgraded shotguns time and time again, but no upgrade needed on the choke tubes. For me, it's always Carlson's, because they're priced fairly, American-made, and consistent. Carlson's choke tubes, the only choke tube I've ever used. Find out more at choketube.com today. Trijicon is a company of hunters, so they understand your obsession, the family traditions, the early mornings, the year-round planning, and yes, the search for any edge you can find for a successful hunt. Whether you're in the woods of Georgia, the mountains of Montana, or the plains of Africa. For decades, Trijicon optics have been trusted by America's greatest fighting forces. They took what they learned and packed high-quality technology and features into hunting scopes that were built to take a beating and hold zero. Edge-to-edge clarity from dawn to dusk, fast on target when it counts. Red dots, thermals, or high-quality hunting scopes, Trijicon has exactly what you need for your next hunt. Visit Trijicon.com for more information. The Savage Arms founders did not mess around, and their spirit of American get-it-done ingenuity has always been Savage Arms' driving force. All of their category-changing innovations have come from a place of principle. Savage is constantly looking ahead, finding new ways to leverage technology and to push performance even higher. What I love about Savage is they have a gun for everyone. With literally thousands of SKUs, you can rest assured there's a Savage product for you. Whether you're on a budget or looking for the most premium product, Savage Arms has a gun for you. This year, I'm running the Savage Renegade in 12 gauge for my shotgun, and I'm going to go with the 110 KLYM Climb in 300 Win Mag. Visit savagearms.com to pick out your next family heirloom. When it comes to my hunting, a quick, clean, and ethical kill is extremely important. You can have the best gun, scope, boots, and gear, but the only thing that makes contact with your game is the bullet you shoot. To me, the bullets I bring in the field are the most important gear in my pack. Since my dad took me into the woods for my first deer hunt, I've been using Nosler. Nosler products lead the pack because they're built with equal parts ingenuity and integrity, passion and precision, consistency and confidence. Nosler has always been a premium product, but now they also have a new whitetail country ammunition for hunters who are watching their budget but demand high-end performance. Find out more today at nosler.com.
A local story. We're in like the greater Flint area in Michigan, and close friend of mine, he's close with some commercial real estate agents.
Is this science fiction or regular?
Real.
Okay.
And
as if any part of it seemed like it.
right. So he's in on the commercial real estate within the area. Well, I'm not going to name names, but there's a development within the area that a lot of land is being bought up at high prices to eventually create this computer chip manufacturing plant. We're talking like Amazon level, if not more. And he told me that if it goes through, the company is going to somehow take water from Lake Huron and pump it into the facility and use the water to cool the computers that they're going to be making to make computer chips. And I was thinking, like, is this a deal where it's going to go completely untalked about and just happen, and then one day the big computer chip factories down the road and they're just pumping water from the Great Lakes? Not so much as a pollution problem, but is there an avenue where the public should know? Because technically I shouldn't know, but because I'm close with people, I get this information. So that's where the question comes in.
I bet that there's a lot of work that goes into like keeping it hush hush.
I would imagine.
So there was when we talked to the state representative, Kuntz here, it wasn't in his jurisdiction, it was in another jurisdiction, and it might be the same thing. And he told me the inside scoop on something similar, and he said that it just got declined. But the people of the city found out, freaked out, and said no. The other thing is, like,
I saw a recent thing too, and maybe there's some overlap here. It was a data center in Kalkaska. They're proposing like a huge data center there, and there was like a town meeting, and they're like, no. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting too because there's a weird dynamic there because people are put in office to try and create jobs. So those are two options to create jobs, and people are like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
So it's like we kind of do that as people, but siphoning water from the Great Lakes, I don't know what the system would look like. I don't know if they'd be like using it to cool and then pumping it back in.
Right.
I don't know if that would cause pollution. I don't know anything, so I can't have too much of an opinion. But at the same time, Lake Huron is very low right now.
I was about to say that.
We just went duck hunting, and areas that were like plenty of water for me to duck hunt from last year, I couldn't even get to this year.
Damn.
Matter of fact, they closed down boat launches in Saginaw Bay because they were dry. Like boat launches that people use for boats that were dredged out for boats is dry land.
That's crazy. Why?
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Not a lot of rain this year. So, but imagine what that does to property values. When Lake St. Clair is low and the sludge gets in and it, fills up, when you have a muddy canal, that property values plummet. It's bad for a lot of reasons. Before we were born, Lake Erie was on fire because of the amount of pollution there. On fire, like burning a lake. So I hate pollution. I hate those sorts of things, but I am partial to making sure jobs exist at the same time.
Right.
So it's like playing that game. But like you said, it's like people don't know. And even when I talked about it, the state representative was fighting it. And eventually, I guess it was going to get proposed to the people of the area. And they were all like, no, thank you.
Right.
But then you hear things about like sometimes we do know and our voice isn't even heard. There is something on our Facebook that we are getting people talking about all the time is the fact that these solar fields went up on public lands and or proposing solar fields on public lands when ideally you'd like to see them on top of buildings. The DNR is saying that they want to use it for revenue share, like to gain revenue, and that they need to. Otherwise, they'd have to sell off some. So they're trying to think of ways to not have to sell it.
If that's true, that's a difficult position to be in.
Sure.
If that's true.
Sure. I mean, their budgets, I'd like to see what they're spending their money on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
We talked about that. If you want to see that podcast, that will also be in a link below.
Which both podcasts that we've brought up are on the live stream. We have a live stream going.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
those are both on there right now.
So, yeah, the one with State Representative Kuntz, we talked about that issue as well. But, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, and like I don't even know if there's even an avenue where like the public needs to vote on it. But if it's a situation where in 2 years this mega plant that's creating computer chips requires that much water, it just, if it doesn't pollute it, I guess I wouldn't really have a problem with it. But it's the fact that one day it's just going to be up and no one's going to know why.
Right. It's the scary thing about, I'm trying to find this video that I saw about the Kalkaska data center. The scary thing about it is you always hear these stories about like DuPont, like they're supposed to be this great grand company, but
Jeff Gordon.
DuPont.
Yeah, the coolest colors on his car.
A creek nearby is polluted by bleach and is giving people in the local area 3 arms. Like there's always this weird thing
and
going
DuPont,
on.
that's from John DuPont, the guy who shot that wrestler.
Same family, yes.
Yeah.
But the DuPont family is a much grander, bigger thing.
You know, the other thing about all this too is, yeah, all the pollution stuff scares me. I'm scared anytime China's involved. I don't know if they are in that one, but I know in one of the ones that got blocked, the one Kuntz told me about, it got blocked specifically because China would own the plant.
That's crazy.
And they're like, yeah, we'll hire this many people. Yeah, until robots can do it.
I found the video. It says MLive posted it. A packed meeting in Kalkaska County drew more than 150 residents to discuss a concept for a large-scale data center. The proposed project includes a 1 gigawatt facility paired with a natural gas power plant and a potential carbon capture technology, whatever that means.
Carbon capture is like
it's
stopping the pollution and converting it into something else.
Yeah, that's like the buzzwords to make it's so clean and good.
It's just a paper filter.
A person on the comments, and this is just a comment, so he knows potentially nothing.
Probably nothing.
He goes, they want to move into Michigan for our water. We can't give up one more drop to these companies. Nestle gets all the free water in the world at the expense of the Michiganders, and they sell it back to us.
That's correct.
These data centers only hire like 50 people. Yeah, pass on that. And if that's true, if these data centers aren't like for the size and scale of what it is, if it's not hiring, then or bringing enough income to the state, I don't know. It's a deep problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably just one massive rabbit hole.
And the truth is, too, is like, in order to create jobs, and a lot of times there might be some pollution, so you're kind of playing with, like, the weighing out the positives versus the negatives. I think jobs coming in are important. I think getting excited about investments into the state are important. I think creating jobs are important. I think all of that. But our Great Lakes need to be protected. I mean, they make up so much of the percentage of the world's fresh water. And I've known for a long time that Nestle takes from us on that and then sells it back to us. And he does know about that because people talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
People talk about it all the time.
This always like messes with my head a little bit. I'm sure there's some scientific definition on it, but like where does the line for pollution stop? Like when does it not be pollution?
Right.
Like building a home, like you don't say that's pollution. Like maybe some of the crazy people would, but like
peeing in the ocean.
If you throw a bag out the window, a plastic bag out the window, like you're polluting the land,
yes,
the landscape.
You're adding trash.
No, that's litter. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so like where like does it have like an official like definition
That's a good
where
question.
it would be?
Why wasn't that in
not
school?
pollution anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, then there's, we drove to work today, right?
Yeah.
So there's emissions there.
I walked.
Yeah.
Because I love the earth.
Did you see that? Speaking of the arguments on that, I drive a Ram 1500 right now, a Ram 2500 turbo diesel, and I love it. So I don't.
Rolling call.
I didn't.
No
buy,
one's guilty here.
Yeah, I didn't buy. Yeah, I know. But that lithium mine overseas collapsed and killed like at least 38 people at the first signs. They don't know how many ended up dying, but like 38 people died.
I didn't hear anything about this.
Yeah,
No,
it was
and
a
if
big one.
38
There's
people
video
died,
of
that
it.
means 100 people died.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
a bunch of them were kids.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was kids in the lithium mine.
Oh, it's like a African, like, do you know where it was?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I
if
gave
it
you all
wasn't
I
in
had.
the U.S., there were probably kids.
I consumed more content than usual deer hunting this week.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the deer blind, I was watching. It was awesome. I had the headphones in, and I had a big cozy blind that I could like recline in the chair and see out the window. And like it used to be we call it the cooler because it used to be a cooler, like a walk-in
freezer,
like giant freezer. So it insulates really well. And you got the slot window and the windowsill and the like gun rest and everything like that. I mean,
It is the best blind.
And I'm running a Mr. Buddy heater in there, so I'm in a T-shirt, and I've got on the windowsill Outdoor Boys playing facing me.
That's awesome.
With my headphones in, because then if the deer comes in and I shoot, then I have the headphones in to protect my ears, which is important because I had a muzzle brake on a 300 Win Mag. Holla, it's going to be pretty loud
and,
there.
And you're inside a tin drum.
Yeah, so I've got that in for protection. And where I hunt, I was overlooking like a field that's 400 yards long and about 60 yards wide. So, and then there's like popples and stuff. So everything's visual. You're not going to hear the deer. And they're not, and like once they come in, like you can shuffle around in there and stuff, and they don't hear a thing. Like it's just the way it is. It's so well insulated and stuff. So you can make sure you make a perfect shot and stuff. But I was consuming more content because I was like watching that stuff. But while I shot that deer, I was listening to Theo Von, and I was trying not to laugh.
Nice. That's a tough one.
Yeah, he's funny.
I have to imagine that cooler probably absorbs sound in there. Like I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's
'cause
so
I've
thick.
been in there with you,
Yeah.
and we were giggling, and
Yeah,
we still got the deer.
we were giggling. Yeah,
That's when we've gotten the best animals or the biggest creatures ever.
I know.
It's like just screwing around in a blind.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it just worked out. That
Showing
way.
each other TikToks and stuff, laughing.
Yeah,
That
and
happened
then-
with the zebra too. We were just driving around, and it's like, there's a zebra.
Yeah.
Can we shoot?
Yeah.
Let's shoot.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, I think that it's important. Like we just covered a lot of topics that we only went over the top surface level of because we only know so much about it. But that's deer camp for you. So thank you for listening to our deer camp podcast here. But we've got more coming here. Wilderness Athletes' mission is to make their customers' lives better every damn day. That is their guiding principle in every facet. From the products they develop to where they source the ingredients, how they treat the customers, how they ship, all the way down to the way they package the products. They've been dedicated to customers since 2004. They're hunters, adventurers, parents, and lifelong learners who never settle because you don't either. They make everything from protein shakes, multivitamins, supplements, and on-the-go snacks in the field. I put a personal guarantee on the quality of the ingredients, and I can attest to how effective they truly are. Wilderness Athlete is owned and operated by hunters and anglers who hunt and train hard. For more information, visit wildernessathlete.com, and for 20% off your next order, use code GREENWAY20 at checkout. That's wildernessathlete.com today. Hunting wild game is hard work. You don't want eating it to be even tougher. I'm always looking for a sure thing when I prepare my wild game, and that's why I choose Rufus Teague barbecue products. They have a huge collection of seasoning and sauces that will make your wild game incredible. I use the chicken rub on birds, I use the meat rub on venison, and I use the sauces for that perfect pulled goose recipe. They also make an assortment of extremely tasty snacks to take into the field with you. I recommend the honey roasted barbecue almonds, Rufus Teague barbecue, make wild game gooder. For more information, visit rufusteague.com today. Dependability is what I look for in equipment, and once I find it, heck, I'm a customer for life. That's been my experience with LEM game processing equipment. For generations, LEM Products has been the trusted leader in meat and game processing, with a journey that began in a garage that has now grown into a legacy of innovation and quality. From humble beginnings, the dream was simple: create reliable, high-performance equipment that empowers people to process, prepare, and preserve food with confidence. Today, that dream continues to thrive. At LEM, they believe the journey of home processing is both rewarding and empowering. I know I feel that way when I go out and harvest a deer or ducks or fish, and I come home and use my LEM game processing equipment to process that meat, put it in the freezer, and have it ready for my family year-round. To find out more and how you can use these products to process your wild game, visit lemproducts.com for more information. I love the flexibility and excitement of using a climbing tree stand during deer season, but when my life is on the line and I'm trusting my climbing tree stand, I always trust Summit tree stands. I've now owned 3, and I've never had them let me down. Summit tree stands are carefully engineered to be the most silent, secure, comfortable, and concealed hunting tree stands on the market. From versatile climbing stands to adaptable hang-ons, all of Summit's tree stands are built to last. Now that's why you will receive a 5-year warranty with any aluminum climbing tree stand in the Summit lineup. All Summit stands are designed and engineered to meet or exceed the ASTM industry standards, recognized by the Tree Stand Manufacturers Association. Here at Summit, we know what it takes to make quality products. We don't just build them, we use them. And we don't build stands that we think will work. We build stands that we know will work. For 15% off, use code GREENWAY15 at checkout at summittreestands.com. Join the millions of hunters who trust OnX Hunt to help them fill their freezers. Create hunt strategies for your property and custom waypoints. View wind forecasts for individual stand sites. Integrate with cell cameras, and so much more. For me, OnX is my go-to tool for hunting public and private lands. It prevents me from trespassing, helps me scout, and even offers trail camera integration. For 20% off, use code GREEN20 at checkout. Know where you stand with the #1 hunting app, OnX Hunt. Joy and Blokes were created to disrupt the outdated one-size-fits-all approach to hormone and preventative care. Joy and Blokes carry all kinds of products from TRT, GLP-1, smart supplements designed specifically for you and your blood work results. The process to getting optimized begins with blood work and a consultation, which now you can get 50% off your initial lab work and 15% off products using code THEGREENWAY at joyandblokes.com today. That's JOI and BLOKES.com today. Ego Fishing has one mission: provide the savvy angler with the most advanced, innovative, and tactical-driven fishing gear on the water. The Ego S2 Slider landing net system features cutting-edge handle extension technology for total control during fish landing. With a simple push or pull, anglers can adjust the handle length in real time. Its modular design allows for quick handle removal, easy storage, and accessory swaps. Available in 4 hoop sizes, 3 handle lengths, and multiple attachments, it's a game changer in sport fishing nets. Ego makes all kinds of extremely high quality and innovative fishing products. I don't hit the water without them. To find out more, visit egofishing.com today.
So what is it, about a month ago now, or was it 2 weeks, I went on my first duck hunt.
Yes.
With Kyle and Jeff.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we didn't get anything, but it was my first time really experiencing the whole setup. We went for a evening hunt. Mm-hmm. And it was my first time setting up a blind, helping set up, really watching setting up a blind. And
since when is a night hunt an option? Not 4:30 in the morning.
I had a lot of work to get done that day. We did afternoon.
That's awesome.
Well, first,
That's a pretty good bit, actually.
AJ's like, hey.
And also, he starts telling his story on how you guys duck hunting, and it turns out you just made him do like a snipe hunt for ducks.
Yeah.
Where he's like holding a plastic bag and going, here, ducky, duck, duck.
You're doing it, buddy. You got it.
They're taking videos behind me
Yeah.
and everything. No, I was kind of thrilled to be in the new boat.
Yeah.
Which I'm quite sure what it's called again.
Yeah, so we have the brand new Tracker Prairie Wing Special Edition 1650 duck boat, and we've got the 60 horsepower motor on it, which may be overkill.
I mean, this thing flies, and we were in water that was, what, 2 feet?
Maybe. No, less than a foot in most places.
And
that's Lake Huron, too.
We were flying 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour.
That's right.
But, we get out there, we set up all the ducks and everything. We were able to take one shot at a group of ducks that were too far out, but we wanted to take a shot. And they ended up being too far out. But as I was getting out there, obviously I fell in love with the whole process. Like, we got to see the sun go down. It was just...
What'd you see after the sun went down, too?
Thousands of ducks.
That's how I told them.
Came out as soon as the sun went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you couldn't shoot.
Every time.
Yeah, and as we were leaving there, I'm in my head thinking, okay, I got to get a shotgun because I don't have my own shotgun, and I shot Kyle's 12 gauge Renegade, and it was wonderful. But now I'm in this headspace where I'm like, I think I need a shotgun.
Oh, every man needs a shotgun,
right?
Have not to cut you off.
No.
Have we talked about the history, like his background on hunting?
No, why don't
or
you hit on that first?
Oh yeah, I am not a hunter. I didn't grow up hunting. I grew up very much like AJ's background. Was not really exposed to hunting or outdoor camping or anything really like that.
Your background was in television and TV production.
Yeah, absolutely.
Movie production.
Film, TV production. And that's where all my training came in. And I kind of got into this, obviously, for the honest passion that everybody here has. It's like, even though this isn't my world, I can get into this world using my world from film and being able to help tell these stories. But so hunting is very new. Everything about hunting is a new process to me. It's a whole new experience. And so and I'm asking, some may say are kind of dumb questions all the time because I have no knowledge of it. And I'm learning the right way. I'm so lucky that I get to learn the correct way.
Yeah,
it is something very interesting.
Always
I didn't
the right way.
The green way.
I didn't leave him sitting on the front porch at 4:30 in the morning.
That's also true.
Who's nice?
You're a good daddy.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering because in Africa we shot a 20 gauge.
I was shooting a 20 gauge in Africa, and over under.
And that was awesome. And obviously we're talking about different animals that we would primarily hunt with if we were shooting with a 20 gauge or a 12 gauge. But I'm wondering, because I had so much fun shooting that 20 gauge.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And shooting 12 gauge was fun too, but I mean, I don't know. There was some sort of rush shooting from that 20 gauge, but I don't know if that's kind of a
we're in
taboo thing for a hunter. Like, you're kind of lame getting a 20 gauge, or like for my first shotgun, what should I get?
Yeah.
Is really what I'm.
That's a good question. One, it's you didn't ask any dumb questions. All questions are good, especially in the field.
Thank you, Daddy.
Yeah, and I didn't leave you at 4:30, and I let you get snacks, and I bought you McDonald's.
That's true.
After.
I got McDonald's.
We did.
Nice.
I got nuggies.
There's nothing after coming out of that field. You're so hungry.
They were great nuggets too.
They were great.
They were hot, fresh.
God bless.
Ish.
God bless McDonald's. But anyhow, I'm loving it. Nice. But anyhow, no, you do not have to feel bad about any shotgun. I really despise, and I get what you're saying because you've heard me go at war with people all the time. Like, you have people, you see our comments. Gauges. Yeah, you see people attacking me 24/7, that sort of thing. So you're probably that the industry is a bit volatile about things.
Opinionated, for sure.
Very opinionated. Let me tell you this. Anybody that has a problem with anybody else's shotgun or rifle is an idiot. So we'll start there. Whatever you're comfortable.
It's comforting to hear.
Yeah, it should be, and comfort is the key word. Whatever shotgun you use, it should be about comfort. When you pull, if it's got too much kick, or it's too heavy, or it's not comfortable, or you have trouble getting it to your eye, you'll kill less animals. A 20 gauge that's perfectly fitted to you, that feels like butter, that you can shoot comfortably without flinching or worrying about this or worrying about that, easy to get up, will kill more birds than a 12 gauge you're uncomfortable with, or a 10 gauge you're uncomfortable with.
Right.
Now, by the same token, yes, a 12 gauge is bigger. It's going to have more pellets. It's going to have more shot down range. it's bigger, right? But what I like about the Renegade specifically from Savage is their inertia system, their gas system instead of the inertia system is really great at diminishing recoil. I would go as far to say the Renegade is the softest kicking 12 gauge I've ever shot.
Right.
So that is very helpful in the field, and that'll keep people from flinching or just having a sore shoulder. If you're killing a million doves, you don't want to be like, ow.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to be able to enjoy yourself too. For a first gun, the right gun is the one that's comfortable for you. And I mean, I make the joke we talked about 28 gaugers before.
Yeah.
I say that there's like, I was talking to Mike Avery today, and that podcast or radio show should be up. Mike Avery's a legend in Michigan. We'll also put the link to that below in the description. We're going to have to keep track of all these. A lot of links in the description. But I did an interview with him where we were talking about hunters giving each other a hard time and working against each other. And like, not all fly fishermen are this way, but there are fly fishermen that hate spin casting fishermen, and they think it's not real fishing, so they shouldn't be able to do this. There's people that despise people that run crossbows during archery season. They shouldn't be allowed to do that because it's too easy and this and that. You know, there's people that hate somebody that shoots a spike buck on the last day of the season because they want to feed their family. There's people, and it just so happens they all have a lot of tendencies. So a lot of the people that shoot 28 gauge we call them 28 gaugers, tend to be the guys that are like, you should shoot the smallest thing possible because you should be that good of a hunter. And it's like, if you're a good shot, you should be able to use a 410. And that is true, but it's also like, to me, I err on the side of shoot the biggest thing I'm comfortable with. And I mean really comfortable with.
Yeah.
If there's even 10% less comfort, then don't shoot it. I shoot the Savage Renegades. That's what I hunt with a lot. When we went to Africa, I knew we were going to be hunting doves, so I wanted to use an over-under because I think over-under shoulder easier than anything on the planet.
Yeah.
And
easier to walk around with.
Yep,
right.
They're lighter.
It's fun as hell.
Stevens 555 makes an excellent 20 gauge, and that was the 555E you were shooting, the 20 gauge. It's smooth as silk. It's very comfortable to use, and that's why I took that for doves. For ducks, I like the Savage Renegade because I can shoot 12 gauge, get more shot down range, but at the same time, I'm not worried about kick and that sort of thing because it takes so much out of it. So it's comfortable to me. So there's a group of people, when we went hunting moose, we were in Maine, and we met with someone there, and they're like, why? And they're like, what are you shooting? And I said a 300 WSM, which you don't know, but a 300 WSM means Winchester short mag, and it's a short action round. It's a 180 grain bullet, pretty mean round, runs about 3,000 feet per second if you're shooting Nosler. It's a good round, and it's certainly not overkill for a moose, though. It's a good moose round, but if I was going to take Abby moose hunting, I'd probably have her shoot that round. There are lighter, but we had a nice heavy gun, wouldn't kick at all. It's a very comfortable gun to shoot. So I was running 300 dubs. He's like, what are you using that bazooka for? You don't need anything more than a 243. And it's like, okay, would a well-placed 243 shot work? Yes. Should people be very cautious that they know they can make perfect, well-placed shots? Yes. However, I err on the side of I shoot the biggest thing that I'm very comfortable with. Now, maybe that makes me shoot less than most people. Maybe some people would use a 375 H&H in certain settings, and I'm using a 300 Win Mag.
Right.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe there's cases where I could use a 28 gauge, but I'm using a 12 because I'm comfortable with it.
Right.
I use the biggest thing that I'm most comfortable with for the species, and that's the error that I go on. So for your first gun, I would say, because you're obviously going to be getting a Savage, you would consider the two guns you shot. Either now the thing about the over-under, though, is you're limited to 2 shots. Renegades, you're getting 3.
Yeah.
However, the over-under is way easier to clean. It's going to stay. It's way easy to clean.
Yeah, the maintenance that is important.
Maintenance on the over-under is very easy. The other thing of like, you're new to hunting, loading a semi-auto in the field. It's like a little bit more like exact. Like you have to do things properly, perfectly.
Right.
To like do it quickly is a little bit more of a stressor.
Yeah.
Whereas over under, boom boom, open click, the shells eject for you.
Right.
And then you just pop in 2 loads, close it again, and you're back in action. There's a lot less that can go wrong with an over under. It's just 2 tubes and 2 buttons.
Right.
You know what I mean? That just dunk dunk.
Yeah.
That poke the primer. So
I would, if I had to, if someone's like, you have to decide for me, probably what I would say if someone's never hunted before is to go with a 12 gauge.
Yeah.
Start with a 12 gauge with the understanding of a lot of what he said is and along with the idea that like these are all tools.
Right.
So different tools have different purposes.
Sure.
So 12 gauge is pretty universal. You could get away with pretty much everything with that firearm. It would be like getting your first toolkit as a kid. You're going to get some screwdrivers and a hammer. And then when you turn 18 at your graduation party, some guy gets you a Milwaukee drill set. Right. It's like, well, yeah, I got this stuff to get me by, and this all works really well. Now I'm going to get more fine-tuned. It's like, now that I'm really into it, and I do want to go upland hunting, or I do want to go hunt doves, I'm going to get that 28 gauge.
Yes.
And then I'm going to get the nicer semi-auto for duck hunting. So that's kind of where I stand with it, agreeing with everything you said.
Right, the versatility. And boy, that Renegade was comfortable to shoot. I actually thought it was the 20 gauge. Mm-hmm. The whole time we were out there, I thought I was shooting the 20 gauge.
Right. And that speaks to the Savage specifically. There's 12 gauges that would rattle your world.
Yeah, that Beretta that Tommy used in Africa was all day shooting that. That's gonna hurt after a while.
Right, and those were light loads they were shooting too.
And also,
so you throw a duck load in there, and you're gonna see another world.
Right, and no matter what shotgun I get, I will only shoot copper.
Yeah.
I'm not playing around. This is not bullshit time. I'm shooting the copper.
Andy's gotten to have the hands-on experience with us in developing the copper loads at Boss Shot Shells, and getting to see how well the copper's performing. And then once you see it, you're like, well, I don't want to use anything else because I know how well that works.
Yeah.
You know?
It's stupid to use something else, honestly.
It's also great that it's non-toxic, so that even when you're not hunting ducks, though, and you're hunting squirrels or rabbits and you're throwing it in the crock pot, you're not throwing lead pellets in there with you. I know that upsets people, though, because they love lead. And I think lead should be legal, and I think anybody should have access to it if they want it, but I certainly wouldn't want my employees working with it. And I also wouldn't want it in my meat because I hear eating lead is bad.
I've heard that.
So I've heard that roughly.
But, on the topic of guns having kick, I wanted to quickly tell this story about when we went turkey hunting and I didn't have a gun. So Pete, which is how would you explain Pete?
Pete's like a second dad to me. He's the one that owns the deer camp that I go to, that he gave me my first opportunity to hunt deer. So,
well, we were turkey hunting, and Pete loaned me his
side by side 10 gauge.
Yes,
and
with turkey loads,
which are the meanest of the meanest of the mean. The only thing worse would be like slugs or double odd buck. But I mean, he was shooting like 2.5 ounce loads, or even more. I think it was 3 ounce 10 gauge loads.
There's footage of it somewhere.
It's a hunt cast. It's on our quick trips or something on our YouTube channel.
We did a turkey double kill where we shot at the same time, and
there's a group.
Yeah, it worked out. It went perfect. Like, we both shot a turkey at the same exact time. It was great. But dude, I shot this thing and I just turned to him like it was like concussive damage. And I turned to him like, "Am I bleeding? Is my face bleeding?"
I look and his nose is bleeding a little bit. It's like,
whoa.
And he like just looked at me after because I'm like, "Yeah, we did it." And I look at him, he's like, "Dude, there's like blood."
It rocked my world.
I'm like, "You good?"
Jeez.
Yeah, and you certainly don't. I did that to Abby on accident one time too. I had an old gun, 12 gauge, and we were out duck hunting. It was on your wedding day. And I had just gotten my Renegade, so I was using that. But we brought the other gun, and she ended up like dunking her gun or something like that. Where I was like, just use. It made sense for her to switch to my other 12 gauge, but I like didn't walk her through what she was signing up for. And a group of ducks comes in, and we're tucked in like brush and stuff. She's like on her knees next to me. And ducks come in, we pop up, and I shoot one, and out of the corner of my eye, I see her barrel, and I see her shoot, and out of the corner of my eye, she just disappears. She's just gone. And then I shot 2 more ducks, and then helped her up. And she got drenched, because she went backwards into the water.
And if you're not bracing yourself, and you're standing like flat-footed.
It was just so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It was my bad for not But she's tough. She's like tough enough that I don't worry about her.
Right.
Like I'm like she can handle it. Like I probably should have warned her, and she probably didn't brace herself the way that she should have, because she had been shooting a really light 20 gauge until then that had like no kick, and she just vanished. Like, it just vanished. I was like, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. She was very cold, but well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Greenway Outdoors podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, but we also have a TV show. Our main TV show can be found on historychannel.com, History streaming, or Saturdays at 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on History Channel. But if you missed it there, don't worry. We're going to have what we're calling, I guess, director's cuts or producer cuts or whatever the hell. We're going to have longer, better versions that we didn't have to cut anything out of, that are going to be going up on Waypoint TV, and we're very excited for you to see that. And if you are in Canada, you're going to be able to see us on Wild TV as well. So those new episodes where we go to Africa and Maine and Arizona and so many cool places are going to be coming to you on there. You can always go to our website for links to find these things, but the Greenway Outdoors main TV show is coming to Waypoint TV very soon, and you'll be able to see those episodes. But seasons 4 and 5 are up on Waypoint TV right now, so you can go check those out there. Don't forget about our Wilderness Chronicles series. We're coming out with those every other Saturday on our YouTube channel, and some of them are really taking off.
Yeah.
The reception we've gotten on those has been so staggeringly high, it like maybe beats our regular show, and I don't like that. But still go watch it. And then our vlog series, we're doing those every week. So we're doing what other people call a TV show every stinking week on top of our TV show, which we work very hard to make sure is next level, as Tommy would say, for you. So our vlog series is also on our YouTube channel, and it's coming to Waypoint TV as well. Then we've got tons of how-to videos on our YouTube channel as well, as if we're not doing enough. And, of course, this weekly podcast. So we hope you'll interact with us on social media. Let us know what you'd like to see. And then Ryan's going to talk about the merch.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Linked below this video and many of our other YouTube videos, there should be a shop where you can see our merch. You can access that just straight through Google or through YouTube. Along with that, though, if you join the membership program on YouTube, you'll get discount codes for the merch, so you'll save a decent amount of money there if you are looking for merch.
Yeah, that's really cool. And to be honest with you, if you think you've seen our merch before, think again, because there's so much new stuff on there, so many new hats, and we put a lot of love into them to make sure they're like the coolest.
And if the membership it sounds like a paradox, the membership program's very cheap. So
what is it, $4?
Or $3, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Super cheap. So the return on investment, if you're buying merch, is worth it.
Yeah, it's a little bit less than AJ's OnlyFans. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Greenway Outdoors YouTube channel. But without our sponsors, this content wouldn't be possible. And so we want to support those who support us. So check out these companies who care about the Greenway Outdoors and conservation. Today's special sponsors are Ram Trucks, Bass Pro Shops, Rufus Teague Barbecue, and Onyx Hunt. Check them out today.